We got a problem, don't we? At first glance, you're like, well, what's the problem? It's a purple hammer. Everything's great. Best ball ever made. Well, after a lot of use, and you're going to see this with a lot of your bowling balls, if you use tape in the thumb, see what happens is the glue breaks down over time, the adhesive that sticks to the thumb hole, and it gets sticky and gross over time. So after using it for a lot, you get a buildup of all this dirt and grime and all that. And then we just got back from Louisiana, and now look at that. The tape has spread out, and you can see right there all this adhesive that, if I were to pull it back, leaves a very sticky situation there. So I battled this while I was bowling nationals. So singles and doubles, this was sliding up and starting to come out of the ball pretty much, just slightly going up and up. So we're gonna fix this today. We're gonna take out all the tape and get the thumb hole cleaned out, and I'm just gonna show you the different things you're gonna need to do this. And the first thing is acetone. You're gonna need some acetone to clean up all that good stuff. Nice little tool, flathead I've always used to get the tape out. And of course, we're gonna need new tape to put back in the thumb hole. I use hammer tape, 3/4 inch, and the 1 inch variety. And of course, a couple paper towels to get this going. So first step, you always just have to take out all the old tape and get that out of there. It doesn't need to be a clean job, but just kind of get that flathead in there and pry it out of there. So as you can see, nasty. This is something that if you were in competition, I would not be able to release the ball. I could pretty much just yikes, right? So we're gonna take all this tape out. I gotta admit, I gotta do a better job at cleaning out thumb holes, making them easier to kind of work with. But hey, you know what? I'm a bowler at heart, and I get lazy. So now we got a bunch of gross tape residue in there, and regular cleaning is not going to help. You got to use acetone. That's really the only thing that's going to take it out. So we'll get a paper towel. It's going to take a few attempts because that is very gross in there. So basically, we're just going to rub this and dissolve all that tape residue. So once we get that out, you can see nasty, right? Look at all that come off. Gross. So it's close, but not yet. So that's why I always bring a few paper towels, because it takes a couple of different attempts to really get the thumb hole cleaned out. And if you're having issues doing it while it's in the hole, and you got an interchangeable like I do, you could always just take it out and do it this way as well. So whatever you like. I don't mind doing it while it's in there. It feels like it gives more leverage to kind of get more stuff out of it. But now that feels pretty good. I'm going to do one more time just for good measure, right? So that's pretty good, but third time's a charm. You can see there's still a lot of schmutz, as I like to call it, come off of it. And we're just going to get that going. Sometimes it could help if you have like needle nose pliers like this. You can just kind of grab onto here and just kind of give it a nice little once over. But that feels good. That feels good. I think just a little bit more in the back. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely want to get all of that residue out of there so that the new tape can stick to it nice. So, yuck, I think we got it all. And now we want to close up the acetone so it doesn't get all evaporated. So we need to get the tape back in there. So we'll get the the 1 inch back. Brand new, fresh tape roll here. I use a lot of tape, so I drill a round hole. Okay, you guys are gonna probably laugh at how much tape I actually use, but if you were to fit this in a pro shop, they'd say that is insane. Why would you do that? I like to shape it. I've drilled ovals in the past. I know in the comments they're going to say, oh, why don't you just drill an oval? I have. And I just don't release it the same. And I feel like I'm locked into an oval. So I like to tape it, shape it, and make my oval that way. So you can kind of, you can't probably see it, but there is a outline of where the tape used to be in here. And I My goodness. Look at this stuff. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're just going to sand out a little bit just to give it, not a lot. We're not trying to make it bigger. We just want to clean that out a little bit more. There we go. Now that's clean. So the shadow of where the old tape was, we want to get the new tape back in the same spot. Okay? And the way we do that is we just start. I always like to taper my tape. And what that means is when I put a piece of tape in, I'm going to start closer to the top, and then the next tape is going to be just slightly below that. So I'm not going to put it straight above. See that? I'm going to put it slightly below, and then I'm going to stagger that as we go down, little bit by little bit as we go. But what's so important is to get that first piece in there perfectly. So for that, I'm going to need total concentration, because the first piece is the most important. Right there. That's pretty good. Looks all right. Now we want to test it. See if it's in the middle of the thumb, and it is. So next we're going to put the back piece, because I use texture tape, in the front and the back. And we're going to put it directly on the opposite side of that one. What do you know? I did it on the first try. That feels pretty good. And now it's just a matter of adding tape. Now I will use 1-inch tape up until it's starting to get snug, and then I will switch to 3/4 to kind of narrow, kind of keep that oval a little bit. But you can see right here how I just staggered, tapered the tape. So it's not right on top of each other. It's bringing it down. So I'm making like kind of a taper as the thing goes up here. All right, so we're going to add equal to the back. Same thing, just a little tapered in the back. I typically don't use as much tape in the back as I do the front. I'll probably go 3 1-inch tapes in the back. And also, see what I'm doing with the tape to install it? You don't need a fancy tool or anything like that. Stick it on, put it on the backing of the tape, fold it over, and you got your own built-in tape tool for free. All right, so the back feels all right. I'm going to go ahead and add the 3/4-inch tape, 1 or 2 in the back, and then I'll build the rest of it to the front. That's how I clean out and work out and make a new thumb hole, because I just have to get this right once. When I use interchangeables, I only have to get the thumb hole feeling good one time, because then I'll be able to switch it from ball to ball and have the same feel. So if you don't use the interchangeable and you use your thumb, it's really a good idea to get set up with one. Okay, now let's get back to the front side of this. Now we're really starting to shape this hole. Okay, really getting to that oval. I'm getting close. I'll say one more 1-inch tape, and then we'll switch to the 3/4 from there. But I like to have 3/4 on the fronts or on the tops, because it's less of a change. So sometimes I only need a little bit of difference in my feel. If I take a piece of tape in or take a piece out, I don't want to have to take a full piece out, because then I feel like I could be in between, and that's not a good feeling. So right there, we're getting close. It's starting to be snug. I like a really snug thumb hole. So we're going to keep adding one more at a time. Now we can pretty much stop tapering the thumb. That's pretty good. I'll probably just start there. I'll probably have, no, one more. Let's go one more. Once the kind of tape all kind of gets in there, I really want to feel some tug. And everyone's saying, no, I got to be able to clean release that. No, you want the snuggest thumb hole possible that you can deal with and manage. All right. That feels good. And of course, we'll clean up our mess, but you can see the final result here. We got all the tape in the front, nice and tapered. Okay, good. And then all the tape in the back, same thing, nice and tapered. So now we got all the stickiness out. This feels like a brand new thumb. And honestly, this should be done, depending on how much you bowl, a lot more often than I do it. I'm going to be honest there. I don't do it as often as I should. I only bowl 3 games a week, plus the stuff I do on the weekends for the videos. But if you're a competitive bowler, you need to be doing this fairly often. When you start to see your tape discolor, when it starts looking, you know, starts going from that to that, you know, it's probably time to change your tape. But that's it. I hope you learned a little something with changing tape, clean out your thumb hole, just basic thumb maintenance. Now we got this feeling good, back in action, and I can throw this. Hope you learned a little something. Please subscribe to the channel. Talk to you guys on another one.